The sun was high in the sky, and Olive found herself in the middle of a desert. She was wearing a strange hat.
Oh, Bagag, what a big fancy hat. But where am I? And what are these big spiky things? Are they some sort of plant?
Suddenly, something long and squiggly appeared right behind Olive. When she noticed it, she was so surprised she stumbled back straight into one of the spiky plants.
Bagag! Ow! Ow! Me bottom! Me bottom! Oh!
I'm sorry. Please let me help you.
Olive sighed, relieved.
I'm Olive. Thanks so much for pulling out those horrible spikes. I didn't hear you coming. That's why I got so surprised.
Hola, I am Reptilina. I am a rattlesnake. Sorry that I scared you.
That's okay. I could see you're not scary.
Whenever I try to make friends, they always get scared away. Other rattlesnakes have rattles on their tails, so you can hear them coming. But mine, it don't work, see? People get scared of snakes, especially when they can't hear them coming.
Well, we'll have to find something that can make your tail sound again.
Olive looked around the desert. Soon, she spotted an old bicycle horn.
Oh, this will make a great new sound for your tail.
She carefully attached the horn to Reptilina's tail, and Reptilina tried it out.
It's a nice sound, but not quite right.
What about these?
Olive had found some bells on the ground. Reptilina tried them instead of the horn.
It's a bit closer, but my tail should rattle, you know.
Olive looked around once more. She spotted some rubbish left after a campfire.
An empty can of beans, some small rocks, and a stick. I think I may have an idea.
Olive put the small rocks and the stick inside the can. Then she attached it to Reptilina's tail.
Give this a try.
Olive, this is perfect. Thank you so much.
Suddenly, Olive and Reptilina heard some music. Two men in big hats appeared. Both were playing guitars.
Hola, we are local mariachi band, and that is a beautiful sounding rattling tail you have. Why, thank you.
Replied Reptilina.
Hey, our drummer, he is very ill after eating a mega spicy burrito, and now we can't keep our rhythm.
Said the other mariachi.
But maybe you, your amazing rattling tail, could join our band. I think I'm too shy.
Reptilina said sadly.
Don't be shy, Reptilina.
Said Olive.
I'll even join in myself.
Olive picked up the horn.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. This must be the best sounding rattle tail ever.
Olive played along with Reptilina and the mariachi band until the sun was setting.
Thanks so much for getting me my rattle back.
Said Reptilina.
And thanks for finding us a new rhythm section.
Said the mariachi.
That's okay.
Said Olive.
I was a bit rattled when I first arrived, but now I feel just fine.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay, actually, I was in a band with a rattlesnake.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the Ostrich!
Olive had a scarf tied around her head, and there were huge sand dunes everywhere. The sun beat down, and it was very hot.
Phew, I'm glad I have this headscarf to protect me from the sun.
Exclaimed Olive. Suddenly, a man wearing long robes popped up from behind a sand dune.
Finally, I meet someone in this never-ending desert.
He seemed very pleased to see Olive.
Hello, my name's Olive.
Greetings, Olive. I am Ahmed, and you are very beautiful. I am certain you are worthy of many, many camels.
Oh, well, thank you, I think. Do you have lots of camels, Ahmed?
I do, yes. But a few days ago, there was a huge sandstorm. It was impossible to see, and when the storm cleared, my camels were lost.
Oh, maybe I can help you find them.
Oh, thank you, Olive. I've been looking for them for many days. You don't have any water, do you? I'm so thirsty.
Sorry, I don't. And I'm starting to feel thirsty too.
Olive spotted something on the horizon. It looked like a couple of palm trees next to a pool of shimmering water.
Ahmed, I see water. Maybe the camels are over here.
Olive rushed off towards the palm trees.
Wait, Olive, come back.
Called Ahmed, but Olive kept running. She really needed a drink.
But Cake, where did they go?
She cried as Ahmed caught up.
Olive, that was a mirage.
What, Ash?
Sometimes in the desert, the heat and thirst make you think there is something in the distance that isn't really there. That is a mirage.
Oh, what are we going to do, Ahmed? I'm really thirsty now.
All we can do is keep walking.
So Olive and Ahmed set off. Soon the sun set and it was night. Olive gazed up at the twinkling stars.
Those stars look so beautiful.
Yes, they twinkle like your beautiful eyes.
Thanks, but let's concentrate on finding your camels.
Olive spotted a group of stars that made the shape of a camel.
Look, Ahmed.
Ah, yes, that group of stars is called the Humpy Camel.
Camels lost in the desert. Some stars called the Humpy Camel. I think I may have an idea. Maybe the camels would find their way by following the stars. So we should follow them too.
Ah, excellent.
So Olive and Ahmed set off, walking towards the Humpy Camel. Soon, Olive heard something carried on the wind. It sounded like disco music.
Egg! It's coming from behind those sand dunes.
Olive and Ahmed climbed over the top of the dunes, and on the other side they saw a huge lake surrounded by palm trees. Next to it was a disco, and dancing to the music were Ahmed's camels.
My camels, hello.
The camels were all sipping tall glasses of orange juice. A waiter came up to Ahmed and Olive with some drinks.
Thank you. You, a drinker, lass.
Olive, I would be honored if you would dance with me.
I don't see why not.
So Ahmed and Olive joined the camels for a good old disco boogie. Ahmed was an excellent dancer, and Olive was having an amazing time.
Oh, I could dance with you all night, Ahmed. But I think it's time I desert this place.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Heck, actually, I've been partying in the desert.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the Ostrich!
Olive was standing on the deck of a huge wooden sailing ship in the middle of the sea.
Okay, look at all that water.
Ahoy there!
Olive saw a cat wearing a dashing outfit and a sailor's hat.
Welcome aboard. I'm Captain Chris Columbus, the most famous explorer in all of the seven seas.
Hello, my name's Olive. I've never met a famous explorer before.
Olive, you don't have any food on you, do you? Me and my crew are absolutely starving.
Olive turned around to see a chubby bulldog and a Jack Russell.
Oh, hello.
These are my trusty shipmates, Bully the cook and Master Jack Russell, the deckhand.
We're really hungry.
Complained Jack.
I'm sorry. What happened to all your food?
A few days ago, we sailed through a terrible storm. An enormous wave washed all our food overboard, along with my map of the seven seas.
Now we're down to our very last tiny piece of stale bread.
Said Bully sadly.
Oh dear, that's not going to fill you up.
Said Olive.
And without my map, we're lost and can't find our way back home.
I'm not very good with maps and directions, but maybe I can find you something to eat.
Olive looked at Bully's vest and Jack's mop.
A mop? A string vest? I think I may have an idea.
Olive tugged on a loose end of Bully's vest. It unravelled into a long piece of string, which she tied to the end of the mop.
Oh, what's that for?
Asked the confused Captain Chris.
It's a fishing rod. We can use it to catch fish for dinner. I just need something to get the fish to bite.
Olive spotted the last scrap of bread in the basket. She tied it to the end of the fishing line and threw it in the water. Oh! Cried the crew.
Our last scrap of bread.
You'll just have to wait.
So they waited, and they waited. All their tummies rumbled because they were so hungry. After what seemed like ages, there was a tug on the line. Olive pulled a massive fish out of the sea.
Hooray for Olive!
Hooray!
Cheered the crew. Olive caught fish after fish and all sorts of other tasty sea creatures. Then, suddenly, Olive felt one almighty tug.
Oh, help!
The crew all grabbed hold of the rod and together they pulled out a huge whale who immediately sneezed and from its blowhole gushed a spout of seawater with a map on top.
My map! Now we're no longer lost. Let's celebrate.
Woohoo!
So Bully cooked the biggest fishy feast ever. They ate and ate until they could eat no more.
Would you like any dessert, Olive? Jellyfish and ice cream?
Oh, no, thank you. Just the thought of it makes me feel all wobbly.
Everyone laughed, and as they did, Olive realized it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Actually, I've been sailing on the high seas.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the Ostrich!
Olive was standing on a huge green lawn. She was wearing a little hat and a red, white and blue scarf. On the scarf was a little metal brooch. Olive looked up. There was a huge pointy tower in front of her. It looked just like her brooch.
Oh, that's a very tall tower.
It was a wonderful sunny day and lots of tourists were happily strolling around. But there was also a snail sitting all alone and looking rather sad.
Excuse me, can you tell me what this beautiful tower is? It's so tall.
The snail looked surprised.
Don't you know? This is the famous Eiffel Tower.
It's beautiful. I'm Olive. What's your name?
I'm Michel Michisson.
Nice to meet you, Michelle. Why do you look so sad?
Well, I want to climb to the top of the Eiffel Tower to see the All of Paris. I have tried many times, but I am so slow that I will never make it before the sun sets. They say it is magnifique. It is my dream.
Olive looked around and saw a clown who was giving out big balloons to the children passing by. The clown accidentally let go of one of the balloons and it floated off into the sky.
Some big balloons that float up into the sky. I think I may have an idea. Excuse me.
Said Olive to the clown.
I wondered if you could help me put a smile on someone's face.
Of course, I am a clown. That's what we do.
Can I borrow a balloon, please?
The clown nodded. Olive took a big red balloon from the clown and tied it around Michelle. But nothing happened.
What are you doing, Olive?
Asked Michelle, confused.
You'll see. Can I borrow another balloon, please?
This time the clown passed a big blue balloon to Olive, who tied that to the snail too. Still, nothing happened.
Oh, you're heavier than you look, Michelle. I think I'm going to need to borrow all those balloons, please.
The clown gave Olive the rest of the balloons, and she tied them all over Michelle and quickly hopped onto his back as he started to lift off the ground.
Oh, Olive, this is amazing.
Okay, we're flying.
They floated higher and higher, passing the first floor of the Eiffel Tower, then the second floor, and finally they were as high as the Eiffel Tower itself. Michelle was thrilled.
Oh, thank you, Olive. Finally, I get to see Paris from above. There is Notre Dame, Sacré-Cœur, and the Arc de Triomphe. Everything is so amazing.
Bagag, what a view.
However, after a while, Olive realised she hadn't thought about how they would get back down.
We can't float about here all day.
No. Besides, I really could do with some lunch, you know. Maybe a salad.
It was then she remembered the Eiffel Tower brooch attached to her scarf.
Oh, I know what to do.
She took the brooch off the scarf, opened it, and popped one of the balloons with the pin. Then another, then another. They started to drift slowly back down to the ground. People watching clapped and cheered as Olive and Michelle gently landed.
Thank you, Olive. You made me smile again and made my dream come true to see Paris from above. It was a marvelous adventure.
Yes, it was. I'm glad I managed to cheer you up.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Kirk, actually, I've been flying over Paris on a snail.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the Ostrich!
Olive was standing in a park surrounded by tall buildings with lots of windows. Nearby, there were some kids riding about on BMX bikes.
Oh, these buildings look very tall.
She was wearing a blue hooded tracksuit and shiny silver trainers.
Yo, nice hoodie.
Said a voice. Olive turned around and saw two boys. They wore blue tracksuits and silver trainers, like hers.
Yo! Hello, I'm Olive.
Yo, Olive, I'm Ash. This is Sam. We're two of the super fast feet crew, the flyest dance crew around.
Oh, what sort of dancing do you do?
Street dancing, and we're competing in a big competition today.
Problem is, our flipper Darren is stuck in a traffic jam. Without him, we can't do our routine, so if he doesn't make it in time, we can't enter.
What does a flipper do?
We'll show you.
Sam pulled out his phone and hit a button to play a video. It was the super fast feet crew performing a routine.
That's Darren in the middle. He's about to flip. Hey, oh, yeah. Hey!
Yo, Olive, you're wearing a hoodie and trainers just like ours. Maybe you could be our flipper for the competition.
Well, I'd be happy to try, but flipping looks really difficult.
It's not easy. You need to be able to jump really high.
Olive looked around and noticed that the kids with their BMX bikes were doing some impressive tricks and jumps. But one boy had a puncture and was pumping up his tyre.
A bicycle pump. Trainers? I think I may have an idea.
Olive walked over to talk to the boy.
Excuse me, can I borrow your bike pump, please?
Yeah, sure.
Olive stuck the end of the bicycle pump into the sole of her silver trainer and began to pump. The shoe started to inflate. She did the same to the other one until she had created a pair of super bouncy super trainers.
Ooh, okay. I'm very tall.
Try a flip.
Suggested Ash. Olive started to bounce higher and higher, and then she did a double backflip.
That was tight.
It certainly was.
Let's go, Olive. The competition starts soon.
Darren was still stuck in traffic, so Olive performed with the super fast feet crew. The routine was going really well, and Olive did some amazing flips, bouncing on her super trainers. Soon, it was time for the big finish, a quadruple backflip from Olive. She bounced higher and higher and then straight into the flip. But Olive had flipped too high. She lost control and couldn't stop flipping. Just then, Darren arrived. He rushed into the arena and saw Olive somersaulting through space. Darren ran over, did a massive forward flip and caught Olive mid-air. They both landed back on the ground between Ash and Sam, and the audience went wild.
Yo, Olive, that was amazing.
Olive's final flip was so spectacular, it helped the super fast feet crew to win first prize.
Yo, thanks for standing in for me, Olive.
Said Darren.
Yo, it was no problem.
Said Olive.
I was one super flying ostrich.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Actually, I've been dancing and flipping with a street dance crew.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.